Anxiety is a word we used to hear a lot from friends, families. Even we use this word a lot nowadays in situations. So, what exactly anxiety is? What exactly, if you are feeling anxious, what you can do? In this episode, Dimple Jain and I talked about how you can solve anxiety and how exactly you can approach a psychologist with your particular concern. Dimple Jain is a counseling psychologist who works closely with anxiety, overthinking, depression, and panic attacks clients. If you ever felt stuck in your life, if you ever felt anxious in your life, this episode is for you. You can learn and you can get aware about what the type of concerns that anxiety clients used to face and what exactly steps you can follow. Dimple Jain, can you just give us a brief about yourself? How did you jump into this psychology journey of yours? How did you explore it first? And कहाँ से आया कि मुझे psychology में जाना है आगे? And what is your journey all about?
ओके ओके थैंक यू सो मच ईशा मुझे इनवाइट करने के लिए थैंक यू सो मच एंड या so about my journey I would say कि initially I always had this desire to help others basically मेरा ऐसा mindset था I did join a few NGOs and all मैंने काफ़ी सारे NGOs वगैरह join की but I did not find that purpose in life over there somewhere something was missing with me. So it was during I think pandemic. Then during that time, I felt that there were a lot of people going through anxiety, or they were losing control over their life. People were losing their loved ones. All those things. At that moment, they were all struggling with their mental health. So at that moment, I decided, okay, this is my call. Here is somewhere I need to pitch in, and I wanted to support people with their emotional and mental health. Therein, I started with my journey during the pandemic. Yeah, and
Understood.
during that time, it was like also a lot of motivation came from my own struggles. So it was that time when I was struggling with few issues at my home. Apart from that, there were certain few relationships with my family members and near and dear ones. So that moment, I used to think a lot, overthink, and then I was stuck in a negative thought pattern. बस ऐसा लग रहा था कि मैं कहीं कैसे निकलूं? How do I come out of this? It did affect my mental health, and somewhere I felt very anxious at that moment. So herein I came with this idea that I need to work upon myself first and have a deep understanding how does it look like, how does this emotional pressure look like, and so I do believe this thing कि if you heal yourself then only you can heal others. So initially I worked upon myself first. I did have a lot of struggles, हर की लाइफ में होते हैं, बट या बट उससे आप कैसे कोप करते हो इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. This is where I worked upon myself.
Cool. So, 9 out of 10 people I talk to who are based out of the psychology background, like who have their background in psychology. So, 9 लोग 10 में से बताते हैं कि इनकी कोई पर्सनल स्टोरी होती है, चाइल्डहुड हो सकता है या फिर कुछ ऐसा, लाइक इवन आई फाउंड मल्टीपल पीपल हु वर फ्रॉम कंप्यूटर साइंस बैकग्राउंड और फ्रॉम बिजनेस साइड बैकग्राउंड and something happened in their life
Hmm.
and they started studying about psychology and then they got their interest into that. फिर
Hmm.
वहां से उन्होंने प्रॉपर मास्टर्स की एंड देन दे बिकेम अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट आगे
Yes.
चल.
Yes,
सो वो
true.
एक ट्रिगरिंग पॉइंट होता है, राइट?
Hmm.
सो ऐसा पॉइंट लाइक नियरली कौन से ईयर में आया था एंड देन डिड यू शिफ्टेड टू मास्टर्स या फिर उसके बाद आपने डिसाइड किया था या फिर पहले से ही कहीं ना कहीं था चाइल्डहुड से ही कि मुझे जाना है साइकोलॉजी
नहीं, so psychology just happened, I would say rather.
में? ओके.
So as I said कि I always wanted to do something. एक desire था. It was a desire था, काफी सालों से था. I did try multiple things to do something. मेरा inclination था towards helping people. That was always there. It is not now. I think since my childhood, this inclination was always there. But I did not feel fulfilled. कहीं भी, so whatever I tried multiple things. It is not, psychology is not my first thing. I did try with NGOs, as I said. I did went into content writing. I did started with certain businesses like garment ka business, all those things. English classes. I think over the years, काफी सारी चीजें. I have tried so many things, but for fulfillment, the feeling of fulfillment, something which makes you actualize, right? That feeling was something lacking. So as I said, a lot of struggles I had at my home. ऐसा नहीं है कि I did not have my part of struggles. But then at a point, I decided that I should take over my life. मुझे अपनी life का command खुद लेना है. At this moment, I did enter my masters. It was through, so basically I did not have a background in background in psychology. My background was in,
Bachelor's.
yes, my bachelor's was in commerce, and I think okay, a very unique thing about me is I did my masters after 25 years of my bachelor's. So
Okay.
so a lot of self doubt, I think that was the point where when I took up my masters, um, basically it was a sudden decision, but yeah, I did take up, but a lot of self doubt I had in myself, my own struggles, will I be able to come over. Initially I started to work upon myself, and then later when I started with counseling, so my core is counseling. So when I started with counseling, I saw changes in people, and there I found that okay, this is my calling, मुझे यही करना था लाइफ में शायद. Lot of fulfillment, काफी अच्छा लगता है when people get good, उनके सब issues solve हो जाते हैं majorly. तो एक अलग टाइप का actualization जिसे बोलते हैं, आपकी लाइफ का पर्पस वो आपको दिखाई देता है. And this is where I
Right.
landed up, I think.
Cool. सो बेसिकली जैसे आपने सेल्फ डाउट की बात की, आपने ओवर थिंकिंग की बात की बीच में, सो आज
Hmm.
का टॉपिक हमारा एंजाइटी के रिलेटेड ही है. सो
Yes.
उसे ही हम टेक ओवर करके अगर देखें, सो कभी सेल्फ डाउट और ओवर थिंकिंग के बीच में एंजाइटी फील हुई है, या फिर अगर हुई है, सो आपने डील खुद कैसे किया, एंड देन हाउ डिड यू मेड इनटू योर प्रैक्टिस कि अब मैं लोगों को अवेयर करूंगी इस चीज के रिगार्डिंग, आई विल बी अ साइकोलॉजिस्ट एंड हेल्प पीपल ओवरकम दैट. सो वो कहाँ से फिर आपने टेक ओवर किया?
Okay. So as I said, anxiety majorly is always related to future.
हम्म.
So a lot of uncertainty, a lot of, I would say, overthinking majorly. So आप जब आप overthink करते, wherein I said I was at a stage where I felt everything was out of control. कुछ
हम्म.
something was hammering me, nothing was in line, align नहीं था कुछ भी. A lot of overthinking was there. Um, जब आप कंट्रोल लेना चाहते हो, whenever you feel like you need to take control, at that moment या उसके पहले you are in an anxious state, काफी सारी overthinking रहती है, negative patterns you carry. So overthinking के साथ you carry a lot of negative thinking patterns, आपको पता भी नहीं होता है. एंड यू ओनली सी थ्रू द सिम्टम्स. बेसिकली अगर मैं एंग्जाइटी की बात करूँ, तो एंग्जाइटी के सिम्टम्स कैसे होते हैं कि जैसे कि अगर शॉर्टनेस ऑफ ब्रेथ होता है, हैवी हैवीनेस इन योर चेस्ट होता है, यू फील समथिंग इज आउट ऑफ योर कंट्रोल, आपकी स्टमक अपसेट रहता है, कॉन्स्टिपेशन हो, डायरिया, ऑल दोस इश्यूज गो ऑन. देन मसल टेंशन जो मेजर पार्ट है. तो ये सब चीजें आई यूज टू फील एट दैट मोमेंट, मुझे जब व्हेन आई वाज मेजरली. देन आई रियलाइज, व्हेन आई स्टडीड अबाउट इट, आई रियलाइज, मुझे अवेयरनेस आई कि ओके, दिस इज व्हाट आई एम गोइंग थ्रू एंड व्हाई इट इज सो. सो व्हेन यू हैव दिस आंसर कि व्हाई एंड हाउ, देन यू स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन योरसेल्फ, क्यों हो रहा है एंड उससे कैसे बेटर होना है. So you get your answers. There I started working on myself, that how I can come out of this situation. वहाँ पे I started with my this journey, conflict journey.
कूल. सो बेसिकली आजकल जेंजीज में या फिर नॉर्मल ऑडियंस में भी काफी एक नॉर्म बन चुका है कि डिप्रेशन एंड एंजाइटी को काफी लेमैन वर्ड्स बना चुके हैं.
Yes.
लाइक अगर मैं घर नहीं गया 2 दिन, भाई डिप्रेशन हो रहा है भाई बहुत,
Hmm.
भाई if I am not feeling well, हल्का सा भी,
Hmm.
भाई डिप्रेशन से हो रहा है. सो मेनी पीपल यूजुअली टॉक अबाउट दीज वर्ड्स इनटू डे टू डे लाइफ. इतना ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंट हो चुका है दैट पीपल आर नॉट रियलाइजिंग व्हाट इट मीन्स, राइट? सो
Yes.
I wanted to understand that what is stress and what is anxiety. And why I'm going very basic is
Hmm.
स्ट्रेस फ्रीक्वेंटली जब होने लग जाती है काफी लोग एंजाइटी से मिसमैच कर देते हैं. सो इफ यू कैन गिव अस अ वेग ओवरव्यू दैट डेली स्ट्रेस में और एंजाइटी में क्या डिफरेंस है.
Okay. So basically, the major difference is stress or anxiety. I mean, the major difference between stress and anxiety is कि the source कहाँ
ओके.
से आ रहा है, वरी का source, and the persistent कितने time तक है वो. These two are the major sources when you distinguish between stress and anxiety. Stress is a worry which is mostly related to a specific situation. एक पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन के साथ वो स्ट्रेस आता है, एंड वो when the situation is being completed or event is being completed, it automatically goes up. The worry which is related to specific event, and that is also identifiable. For example, if I explain you, let's say you have a presentation tomorrow. Hmm? So the worry which you have today related to the presentation, that is stress. And after the presentation or the exam, if you are going to face, then automatically you will feel more relaxed, you will be calm. So it is not pervasive, continuous nahi hai. It will go along with the trigger. Aapka jo trigger hai, whatever is your trigger, it will go along with your trigger basically. So stress for your exam, any presentation, stress for anything, event in your life, all those, all worries related to particular event which is identifiable and which is short time is stress.
Okay.
Now, if I talk about anxiety, anxiety as the worry, it is a worry which is persistent without any reason, which continues with you, and it starts affecting your daily life. So, for example, worry about the future. There's no particular trigger, right? No stressor nahi hai usme koi bhi. It is generalized basically. So, when you have anxiety, which is more persistent and doesn't have any particular identifiable trigger, then that is termed as an anxiety. So basically, you will be always restless, will not be able to sleep, you will always be overthinking. तो किसी इवेंट के साथ वो खत्म नहीं हो जाती. It starts
Understood.
affecting your daily life basically.
Understood. 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 So if you are taking that further, so what are the most frequent type of anxieties that anybody can face in today's life? Because अब वर्क कल्चर और लाइफ स्टैंडर्ड्स काफी डिफरेंट हो चुके हैं जो आज से करीब 15-20 साल पहले थे. सो
Right.
व्हाट आर द मोस्ट फ्रीक्वेंट एंजाइटी टाइप्स कि हाँ ये करूंगा तो शायद एंजाइटी हो जाएगी. सो ऐसा कौन सा होता है लाइक एक फ्रीक्वेंट टाइप ऑफ एंजाइटी जो पता है कि हो सकती है काफी नॉर्मल है आजकल की वेलबीइंग में, एंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वी कैन डू टू ओवरकम दैट एंड टू प्रिवेंट दैट फर्स्ट ऑफ
Okay. Two questions. I'll answer the first question.
ऑल.
Anxiety basically is an umbrella term. It's a larger term. It is not anxiety is particular anxiety. So there are type of anxieties, lot of anxieties. I'll be telling you about few important ones जो हम usually face करते हैं अपनी daily life में. So the major one is generalized anxiety disorder, which is persistent, consistent worry about something, and which is affecting majorly आपके it, so basically it is a low intensity anxiety, but it is constant. So let's say कि आप सो नहीं पा रहे, you're not able to sleep, or consistently you're thinking of something or the other, that is generalized anxiety, wherein you feel that it is difficult to turn off, shut down नहीं कर सकते हो आप, consistently आपके background में चल रही है. That is a generalized anxiety which is persistent over a long time. Second anxiety if I talk about is panic disorder. Panic attack बोला जाता है, panic disorder बोला जाता है. So this is a sudden unexpected anxiety, and it is very intense. It will crop up within minutes, and you will feel that you are losing control.
Okay.
So, and apart from that, few other anxiety if I talk about is social anxiety, where you fear social situations, you fear that you will be judged or embarrassed, and without, because of that, you stop avoiding, so you start avoiding going to the social gatherings or all such things. So that is social anxiety. Nowadays we see this anxiety moreover. So aajkal, like, today's generation, they do not like to meet people. They try to remain aloof. They are good when they are separate, alag se apne. So that is social anxiety. Apart from that, other anxieties may look like phobias. So wahan pe it is irrational fear about specific object or situations. For example, fear of heights, fear of flying or certain objects, fear of spiders, lizards. So those are phobias. Even people have fear with
Understood.
swimming. पानी से भी phobia रहता है लोगों को. एंड
Hmm.
क्लॉस्ट्रोफोबिया होता है जिसमें आपको हाइट्स वगैरह से या फिर क्लोज्ड स्पेसेस से फोबिया होता है. सो फोबिया इज आल्सो पार्ट ऑफ एंजाइटी. Then we have separation anxiety, very commonly seen in children, बच्चों में, छोटे बच्चों में especially,
Hmm.
wherein you would have seen that when you send them to school, let's say their first day of the school, they will be continuously crying. That is separation anxiety. They feel that they are taken away from a certain situation, taken away from their loved ones. Apart from that, when you're moving out to another country, your parents may have the separation anxiety, or you may also have that separation anxiety.
Hmm.
uh, so basically, when you feel that you're moving away from your loved ones, this anxiety comes in. Apart from that,
Understood.
currently, majorly what is anxiety today is performance anxiety. We need to perform or give our best. So because of that, we have this fear of performing well, and we become anxious. So these were a certain type of anxieties which are, so there are a lot many, but I just gave you a brief about a few which are more commonly found, right? uh,
Understood. Understood.
yeah.
So इसी के follow up में like अगर ये anxiety trigger होती है,
Hmm.
what exactly we can do to prevent it, and what exactly we can do to like stop it at a particular time, या फिर हम ऐसी चीजें क्या करें कि ये हो ही ना. For example, if I am facing like when you were talking about the social anxiety, so I am
Hmm.
also a part of that group. I don't feel like talking to people that much in groups. That's why I don't go to parties that much. Um, so वहाँ पे जब ये चीजें होती है, what exactly we can do? First thing is we can avoid कि hey नहीं जाना कहीं ग्रुप्स में so that वो ट्रिगर ही ना हो. सेकंड चीज आपका आ गई कि नहीं उसे फेस करके जाओ, या फिर कभी कुछ आपको लगता है कि हाँ इट्स द क्लोज रिलेटिव सो यू हैव टू गो
Hmm.
द फेस्टिव और मे बी द फंक्शन और गैदरिंग. सो अगर आप वहां पे जाते हो, सो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वी कैन डू टू प्रिवेंट इट कि हाँ यार वो नहीं हो. सो या.
So talking about social anxiety, so wherein you said कि ऐसा कोई need हो कि you definitely need to go there and all, right? So basically, how do you get anxious? Your anxiety comes in with your thoughts, basically. So we have this therapy called as cognitive behavior therapy, where we work upon your thoughts, basically. So आप जैसा सोचते हो, what you think has an effect on how you feel and how you behave. So you
राइट.
have to work upon your thoughts. Okay, the thought which comes to your mind before your anxiety is कि अगर मैं वहाँ जाऊँगा तो लोग मुझे जज करेंगे. If I go there, people will see me what I am wearing or how I am behaving, all those things. Fear of judgment है. Fear of being perfect. Okay, I should be perfect or was it. So whenever you have these thoughts, okay, negative thoughts rather, I would say, okay, whenever you have these negative thoughts, you will definitely have negative feelings, right? So you have to work upon your thoughts, okay, it is okay, make it very normal. Instead of over expecting yourself, I should always look perfect, or so make it very normal. Tell to yourself it's okay if I'm going there, मुझे उनसे कोई certificate, I don't have to get this certificate from these people. So when you talk this way, so we say this, one more thing here is positive self talk. So आप अपने आप से क्या बात करते हो? If you constantly keep talking negative to yourself, अगर आप बार बार अपने आप से negative talk कर रहे हो, then definitely you will have negative thoughts. So when you work upon a self talk, you tell yourself it is okay.
Okay.
मैं वहाँ पे कोई चीफ गेस्ट नहीं हूँ कि पीपल आर गोइंग टू लुक अराउंड, मेरे सामने देखने वाले हैं कि मैं या वो कैसा पहन के आया है, क्या है, कैसे
Hmm.
बात कर रहे हैं, ऑल दो से फियर ऑफ जजमेंट नहीं रहेगी, फियर ऑफ बीइंग क्रिटिसाइज नहीं रहेगा। व्हेन यू फील कि आई एम कॉमन, जिससे सब लोग आए, इट इज ओके, एंड वॉट एवर आई एम वेयरिंग इट इज ओके। ठीक है। सो फीडिंग सेल्फ टॉक, पॉजिटिव सेल्फ टॉक will always give you positive thoughts, and don't make it feel very important. When you make something feel very important, so for
Hmm.
example, if you have to go to certain function, तो fear of judgment और कहाँ पे criticism का point कहाँ पे होगा, जब when you feel I am the most important person over here, लोग मुझे ही देखेंगे। So all these thoughts will make you feel nervous, या फिर आप you will not be able to be yourself basically, you will be artificially behaving,
Hmm.
normal नहीं रहोगे। So you have to work upon your self talk and your thoughts, ये दो चीजों पे when you work, you will feel कि you're not anxious, you do not feel this anxiety over social situations, and ये judgment नहीं रहेगा, all those things, then you will be all okay, you will feel as if you're meeting your friends। So that you have to work upon your thoughts basically, and उसके लिए हमारे पास
Understood.
काफी सारी therapies भी है।
Understood. That's why I prefer many people, and I advise many people to go to therapy, regardless of whatever stage they have
Hmm.
in their life. Like if they are facing a mild anxiety as well, I prefer कि भाई go to therapy because it will help you at the end, like for personal growth, maybe for self-reflection, maybe to just fight that anxiety. So that is have the immense results. उसी के लिए follow-up questions we have, like in today's world there are a lot of people, especially age bracket between 16 to 35 now,
Hmm.
ये काफी सोशल मीडिया कंजप्शन करते हैं। एंड रिसेंटली अभी मार्क जुकरबर्ग ने भी ये बोला है कि आफ्टर एआई इज इंटीग्रेटेड
Hmm.
टू देयर ऑल ओवर मेटा इकोसिस्टम, कंजप्शन ऑल टाइम हाई जा चुकी
Yes।
है, राइट, सोशल मीडिया की। सो टेक्नोलॉजी एंड सोशल मीडिया आपकी एंजाइटी कैसे ट्रिगर करती है, या फिर अगर करती है अगर नहीं भी करती, सो इफेक्ट कहीं ना कहीं सोशल मीडिया का आपके मेंटल हेल्थ पे होता है। सो वो कोरिलेशन कैसे है?
Yeah, very truly said। सोशल मीडिया जो होता है ना, इट ऑलवेज प्रेजेंट्स यू द अनरियलिस्टिक व्यू ऑफ एवरीथिंग। सो व्हाट यू पुट अप ऑन योर सोशल मीडिया, आप अपनी एंग्जाइटीज नहीं बताते, यू डू नॉट पुट अप योर व्हाट यू हैव नॉट अचीव, यू विल ऑलवेज पुट अप सर्टेन थिंग्स व्हिच यू हैव अचीव। So it will only show you one part of you, which is your bestest version, I would say, right? And seeing that, you have unrealistic expectations, okay, I should also do this, okay, I do not have this fear of missing out, which gives you the feeling of inadequacy, that I'm missing out on this. There is a lot of comparison, we start comparing and become more anxious, इसके पास तो ये मेरे पास नहीं है। So a lot of things, so what does social media give you? सबसे पहले unrealistic view देता है आपको, second unrealistic expectations देता है, a lot of comparison होता है, all this thing will make you feel inadequate, you feel that you're not enough, एंड आप में एक इनसिक्योरिटी सी डाल देती है, फियर के आई एम नॉट गुड इनफ, और आई डू नॉट हैव इनफ रिसोर्सेज, ऑल दोस थिंग्स। सो वो फीलिंग एंग्जाइटी देती है आपको, द थॉट दैट आई एम नॉट इनफ और आई एम इनएडिक्वेट, जैसे आई सेड यू बिफोर आल्सो, आपके थॉट डिटरमाइन करते हैं आपकी फीलिंग्स को। So your thought that you are not enough, or everyone, other people, your fear of missing out, you others have everything, I do not have everything, all those feelings will make you feel inadequate, and वो feeling anxiety देती है। Apart from that, one more thing is information overload। So what do I mean by information overload is that consistently हम consume करते हैं a lot of information, so we keep scrolling screens, यहाँ से यहाँ shift, there are a lot of shifts, we are not able to focus, right? So consistent notifications है, all those is consistent information overload है, वो हमें overwhelm कर देती है, and हमें हमेशा we keeps us in alert mode। So what is anxiety? Anxiety is basically कि आपको हमेशा it keeps you on toes, अलर्ट मोड पे रखती है आपको, राइट? आपको काम डाउन नहीं होने देते, डजंट लेट यू काम डाउन। So these are all, the social media is a major, plays a major role in creating basically anxiety को let's say ट्रिगर करने में बहुत ज्यादा रोल प्ले करती है.
Right. So, while you were talking about this, my brain got into one thing, that is AI implications today, as well as the drastic change in technology. Like लेंस कार्ट ने अभी ग्लासेस बनाए और साथ में एक वॉच भी आई बिलीव उन्होंने पेटेंट की है दैट हैव कैमरास. वहां पे अभी बेसिकली हो क्या रहा है कि ये वीआर ग्लासेस ऑफ मेटा उसमें तो आ ही गया है कि आप ग्लासेस से स्क्रीन देख सकते हो, राइट? आप ग्लासेस से ही आप जो मोबाइल पे देख रहे थे वो हो रहा है. जियो का भी वीआर आ चुका है, मेटा का खुद का वीआर है, एंड सेम ऑफ एप्पल, उसका भी खुद का वीआर है. सो आपकी आंखों पे ही पूरी स्क्रीन आ गई है. सो जो सोशल मीडिया कंजप्शन आपके हाथ में ऐसे रहता था रील स्क्रॉल करके, वो आंखों पे आ चुका है. सो
Yes.
वो चीज बढ़ने ही वाली है, राइट? कि उसका जो कंजम्पशन रेट है वो और बढ़ेगा. जो टाइम कंजम्पशन है वो भले ही आपके पास 24 घंटे ही रहेंगे, उसमें से आप 8 घंटे ही सोशल मीडिया ठीक से चला पाओगे मैक्सिमम, बट वो स्प्लिट हो जाएंगे. और आपकी आंखों के सामने रहेगा, यू कैन हैव मल्टीपल टैब्स ओपन, एंड फिर आपका ब्रेन काफी फटीग में रहेगा कि ये वाला सोशल मीडिया, फिर अगले सेकंड ये वाला, अगले सेकंड ये वाला, जिसकी वजह से शायद एंजाइटी बढ़ेगी ही आगे चल के,
Yes.
राइट? बिकॉज
Right.
वही वही लूप काफी फ्रीक्वेंट होने लग जाएंगे.
Hmm.
सो दिस इज वन थिंग. एंड उसी के रिगार्डिंग लाइक वी हैव फॉलो थिंग लाइक कभी भी ऐसा होता है कि लोगों के साथ कि सरप्राइजिंगली एंजाइटी अटैक्स आते हैं, सरप्राइजिंगली एंजाइटी ट्रिगर होती है. अगर वो सरप्राइजिंग का एलिमेंट है, हाउ टू प्रिवेंट दैट एंड व्हाई इट हैपेंस, लाइक काफी सरप्राइजिंगली क्यों आती है चीजें?
ओके. जो आपने बताया कि डेफिनेटली टेक्नोलॉजी हमेशा लॉट ऑफ एंजाइटी लाती है. इफ़ यू कैन सी कि पहले के लोग, द ओल्डर पीपल हु वेर नॉट अवेयर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी और मे बी इन्वेंशंस नहीं हुए थे, राइट? So at those people were way more calm. They used to do all their work. They were way more calm, and they were living a more happier life, I would say, rather. So with technology, although we are making our lives easier, but we are creating a lot of mental health problems with us. जहाँ पे anxiety है, depression है, stress related है. So we are adding a lot of pressure to that. Now, when you said कि अचानक से anxiety, so when you said कि suddenly you feel anxious, right? Uh, when you feel suddenly, if you feel anxious, the majorly it is behind. So majorly the reason behind that is you have a certain thought. अचानक से आपको कुछ thought आया, and you start feeling that anxiety. So many a times we do not realize, हमें सिर्फ feeling दिखती है या behavior दिखता है. We do not reflect on the thought. So always anxiety comes, the feeling of anxiety comes after a thought. So आप कभी भी you, let's say you are sitting and you see someone enjoying, किसी को आपने देखा कि they are enjoying and you're sitting nearby and suddenly you feel anxious. So background में एक thought आया है कि how happy I was, I used to stay with my parents, how happy they are, कैसे वो enjoy कर रहे हैं. So these thoughts come in the background. Firstly, you need to be aware whenever you are suddenly anxious. Just think over, okay, what is the thought behind that? Become aware of your thoughts, first thing. And when you become aware of your thoughts, you try tracking your thoughts. You will have an idea that आपको बार बार anxiety क्यों होती है? What are the negative thoughts which lead you to anxiety actually, and how to deal with that. So there are a lot of techniques, ठीक है, which we practice during therapy. I would be discussing few with you. So very instantly, अगर आपको relief चाहिए, the first thing जो we use is ice cube. As I said कि आपके thoughts से आपकी anxiety आती है. So ice cube से you can hold an ice cube in your palm
ओके, ओके.
and उसको just make it tight, उसको feel करो. So what are we trying to do here? When you hold an ice cube, हमारा ध्यान कहाँ जाएगा? Where will our attention shift?
आइस क्यूब पे हाथ है।
Definitely हाथ पे, feeling पे, ice cube पे. So as in I said कि एक थॉट है जो आपको परेशान कर रहा है, आपके एंजाइटी को कंटिन्यूअसली कर रहा है, हार्म कर रहा है, आपको एंशियस बना रहा है, लेट्स से, then when you hold this ice cube, your attention, your thoughts, everything goes to this ice cube.
अंडरस्टूड। सो मतलब इट्स लाइक ट्रिकिंग योर माइंड, डिस्ट्रैक्टिंग इट कि हाँ
Yes,
यार
distracting your
इधर।
mind from the thought जो ट्रिगर है
राइट।
आपके एंजाइटी का.
हाँ।
And even you can rub on
अंडरस्टूड।
your wrist also, here also, this is your pulse. So if you
ओके।
rub the ice cube here, then it will work instantly. So आपके thoughts से it will take you away from your thoughts. That is what is the aim or the goal behind that. Apart from that, you can also practice certain other techniques. We use a lot of techniques in our therapy, although it is very difficult to discuss it over here. But I would quickly run over few techniques basically which we use
श्योर।
in our therapy. Is one is CBT, as I told you earlier, cognitive behavior therapy. Mindfulness based interventions wherein we observe your anxious thought and do not judge about those feelings and just let it go. That is mindfulness based. आप present moment से connect करते हो अपने आप को and you let your anxious thought move away, basically detach your anxious thoughts basically. Then we have our exposure therapy where we work upon your fears. We gradually expose you through your fears in a graded fashion. So from low intensity to higher intensity, we make you exposed to your fears. Uh, Initially, I talked about CBT, which is a very evidence-based therapy, which is being mostly widely used therapy is CBT, cognitive behavior therapy, where you identify your negative thoughts and you challenge your negative thoughts and your patterns, which are triggering your anxiety. Right. So these were the major therapies which we use. A lot many rather. I just mentioned a few of them for a common man now. So if you are having anxiety attacks, so firstly I would rather need to say this कि you need not come to a level of burnout जहाँ पे you have no other resort to go. So आपको वहां तक wait नहीं करना. You don't have to wait for that. If you see certain symptoms, if you feel like you are feeling anxious, you definitely need to work upon it. You can always ask for help. When I talk about certain things which you can immediately resort to is firstly, it is we have this grounding technique. Now, what is grounding technique? Grounding technique is this 5 4 3 2 1 technique where uh, you see five things which you usually do not see. So here we are using all your five senses basically, wherein five things you see which you usually do not reflect. Let's say I have an anxious thought and I'm feeling and I'm becoming anxious, let's say. So what do? I ground myself to the present where I am, what I can see. So I will see five things which I usually do not see, if at all, in the nearby atmosphere. Four things which I can touch. I will feel that touch. What does the touch feel like? Is it soft or is it hard or is it cold? Is it warm? Then three things you can hear. So when you are totally attentive, then only you can hear. Usually do not hear the sound of your fan or all, right? But if you are totally attentive, you are grounded to your present, you will hear the sound of your fan, your AC, or the any nearby sounds. So three things you can hear. Two things you can smell. Again, it can be the atmosphere where you are, or it can be your own body odor, anything which you can smell. Two things you have to identify. One thing you can taste. So many a times maybe हमने कुछ खाया नहीं होता तो हमको कुछ टेस्ट नहीं आता, but either उससे पहले कुछ खाया होता तो when you reflect on that you will have this taste. Or if at all you do not get any of the taste, then you think about your favorite. Let's say मेरा favorite है pizza. So when I think about pizza मुझे automatically वो flavor आ जाएगा मुंह में, ठीक है, और आइसक्रीम से. So what are we trying to do here? The grounding technique is to ground you to the present. We are using all our five senses so that our thoughts which are roaming in the future, वो thoughts ground हो जाए present की तरफ. And इतना time है till this time our anxious thought will go away. So majorly this technique is being used. Apart from that, we use diaphragmatic breathing, जहाँ पे we inhale. So what happens during anxiety is there is shortness of breath whenever you're anxious, no? So you start, there is shortness, basically palpitation start हो जाते हैं, या फिर breathlessness लगती है, या shortness of breath होती है. All those are because lack of oxygen, and your brain and your body needs oxygen to function well. So we will try to regulate our nervous system, and we will provide oxygen. So therein we will use this diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. दो तीन breathing techniques है. So wherein we will inhale for 4 seconds through our nose and hold it for a second, and exhale for 6 seconds or 6 counts with our mouth. इससे क्या कर, what are we trying to do is we are trying to regulate our nervous system. Apart from that, few other techniques are deep breathing, square breathing, a lot of breathing techniques. We teach them these coping mechanisms. And basically, what happens in your anxiety is your nervous system or your parasympathetic nervous system, जिसमें कि आपकी सबसे बड़ी नस है, nerve है, which is the vagus nerve, disturb हो जाती है. तो उसको we need to bring it to a calm state, relaxed state, wherein your breathing techniques help to regulate your nervous system here. So these are certain things which you can use it, and breathing definitely helps.
Can you just uh, give some quick and practical tools कि जब भी एंजाइटी हो, जैसे आपने एक आइस क्यूब का बताया,
Hmm,
वो काफी अच्छा था,
right.
but any particular um, tool or maybe just quick remedy that
Hmm.
anybody can do whenever they know कि हाँ यार अगर मैं इस सिचुएशन में रहूंगा सो 15 मिनट के अंदर मुझे एंजाइटी आ जाएगी, तब क्या करे इंसान?
Okay. So basically, सबसे important, what is more important is identify the reason. सबसे पहली चीज है.
हम्म,
So if you are aware कि आपको anxiety किस चीज से होती है,
हम्म,
so at that moment you can either distract yourself. So सबसे majorly which we use is distraction thing. अगर
हम्म,
आपको पता है इस चीज से आपको सॉरी इस चीज से आपको एंजाइटी होती है, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो पीपल डू आर नॉट अवेयर कि व्हाट इज कॉजिंग एंजाइटी. ओके,
हम्म,
उनको ट्रिगर ही नहीं पता है. सो सबसे पहले यू नीड टू बिकम अवेयर ऑफ ऑल योर ट्रिगर्स, एंड इफ यू फील कि ओके दिस इज गोइंग टू मेक यू एंग्शियस, then first thing you can distract your thoughts, सबसे पहली चीज. Second thing is you can work upon is let's say कि possible नहीं है कि आप अपने thoughts को distract कर सकते हो, या you cannot leave the place or something like that. Then you can try EMDR, that is eye movement sensitization. इसमें हम क्या करते हैं, so even one more technique I talked about is ice cube की, ठीक है. So that is, let's say कि आपके पास आइस क्यूब भी नहीं है वहां पे, so you can work upon your breathing thing. Apart from that, you can work upon one more thing is eye movement desensitization, जहाँ पे आप आई के मूवमेंट्स ऐसे करते हो. लेट्स से कि यू विल मूव योर आईज टुवर्ड्स, without moving your face, you will move your eyes towards your right fully. Again you will center it, so while you inhale and move your eyes towards your right, then you'll get it back in the center by exhaling. Again, you will inhale and take it your eyes towards your left, and again you will bring it back by exhaling. This thing you can always practice for at least 4-5 minutes. इससे क्या होता है? This also regulates your nervous system. This is very handy. This comes very handy basically. So wherein I said about this ice cube technique, or let's say diaphragmatic breathing, it may not be possible. But eye movements, let's say suddenly, it also gives you a break with your screens also rather. Right? वो भी issue हो सकता है कि you are in front of certain screen or something. Then उस moment में भी you can take this like feels like relaxation, a calmness. Apart from that, there are certain so many times लोगों को when they're anxious, so the major problem with them is उनको रात को नींद नहीं आती है. Yes. So and उनके thoughts और multiply हो जाते हैं, overthinking multiply, spirals रहते हैं, there are overthinking spirals. That moment you can practice mindfulness. uh, सो वी गेट अ लॉट ऑफ माइंडफुलनेस वीडियोस और स्क्रिप्ट्स वगैरह आपको यूट्यूब पे भी मिल जाएगी. इट विल ओनली टेक 5 minutes. When so I never mentioned about meditation. Meditation is like gold है आपके लिए बेसिकली अगर आप कर पाओ तो. बट क्या होता है ना मेडिटेशन में आप काम नहीं हो सकते. व्हेन यू आर एंग्शियस इट बिकम्स
Right.
डिफिकल्ट काम.
Right.
सो वहाँ पे यू कैन ऑल्सो प्रैक्टिस माइंडफुलनेस. वी हैव सर्टेन वीडियोस और सर्टेन ऑडियोस, माइंडफुलनेस ऑडियोस. 5 minutes के लिए आप ऑन कर दो, आपके थॉट्स ऑटोमेटिकली प्रेजेंट में आ जाएंगे एंड यू विल हेल्प योरसेल्फ फ्रॉम नॉट बीइंग एंग्शियस.
That is the thing, like काफी लोग आज anxiety and stress से deal कर रहे हैं and they don't prefer taking therapy.
Yes.
Um, and we all know there are multiple reasons for it. They have their personal belief. The first is the acceptance.
Yes.
कि हाँ मैं थेरेपी पे जाऊंगा या जाऊंगी क्योंकि आई फील दिस. सो एनी एडवाइस और लास्ट यू कैन से a wish that people understood about therapy or anything you want to communicate to people to just push them to at
Hmm.
least adapt therapy if they are facing any kind of issue in their well-being.
Okay. So basically I want people to understand this thing कि एंजाइटी चॉइस नहीं है बेसिकली. लोगों को
Right.
लगता है इट इज इन योर हेड, आपके इस दिमाग में है. अब एंजाइटी एंजाइटी कुछ होता नहीं है. वी हैव द स्टिग्मा. So let's say कि you talk to your parents कि मुझे कुछ हो रहा है, something is happening to me, and your parents will dismiss that. अरे कुछ नहीं होता है, सब तुम्हारे दिमाग में है, ऐसा कुछ होता ही नहीं है. क्या होता है एंजाइटी, बड़े बड़े सब वर्ड्स कहाँ से लेके आते हो. दिस इज they dismiss or they invalidate your feelings basically. So I want people to understand this thing कि सबसे पहले it is not your choice. It is your body's physiological symptom जहाँ पे वो alert mode पे है basically. So it is always alert mode, constantly overthinking, and it cannot relax. And it is not a choice, it is not a weakness also, neither it is a weakness. ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर आप anxious हो तो you are weak. So people have this myth कि अगर आप anxious हो, आपको कुछ mental health issues है तो you are a weak person, you do not have strength basically. No, it is not like that. So people who are anxious, they are in a genuine struggle. So please do not invalidate them. Dismissive statements मत दो कि कुछ नहीं है,
Mhm.
don't worry about it, just calm down, कुछ नहीं होता, all those things are just in your head. Or if you can offer them, you just please offer them support. सबसे पहली चीज, validate their feelings, try to understand
Right.
what they are going through. Try to listen to them
Mhm.
without any judgment कि वो जो बोल रहे हैं they are genuinely feeling it. You are just telling it but they are feeling it. There is a struggle inside them. So
Mhm.
उनकी feelings को validate करो, उनको encourage करो for therapy if there is a need for therapy. If they are not able to cope well with that, then suggest them for therapy also. And if possible, help them encourage healthy habits. वो अपनी life में healthy habits लाए, उसके लिए आप encourage करो उनको कि जैसे self care है या physical exercise है. एक बहुत बड़ा चीज है physical exercise anxiety को curb करने के लिए.
Mhm.
Or you can also suggest for therapy. The healthy food habits, eating habits है, lifestyle changes है. All those things you can definitely do. Rather than invalidating or not understanding what they are going through, offer them support and compassion.